Hi, this is Rachel Cunningham, and you're listening to Joyful Love, episode 109. If you're ready to bring joy and connection back to your marriage, stick around. Each week, I give you the tools to up-level your thinking, open your heart, and bring joy and fun back to your relationship. Because it's not enough just to stay married. We want to love being married. One of the things we've been talking about in the Stoked Marriage Mastermind is our ability to pause before we react. And so today I really wanted to bring that to my podcast audience. We're going to talk today about responding instead of reaction and what the difference is in that. I think we've all had those situations where our partner said something or did something, and we have this quick judgment of lashing out and saying, "Oh my God, why did you say that?" Or, this quick defensiveness that happens within us. And every one of us responds to defensiveness in a different way, right? We can run away, we can avoid it, we can fight back. Those kind of things happen to all of us. And we need to know what to do about it, because it's really that can be a slow burn of when we react harshly to something or assume things very quickly and react from that assumption. We are slowly tearing down our relationships, and in some cases very quickly tearing down our relationships. So let's just look at the difference between responding versus reacting a little bit. So a reaction is an immediate, often habitual action that often comes from a subconscious thought. It's not even like a thought that we know how to get into immediately. For example, when your partner says, "Hey, what did you do all day?" You might snap back and say, "Why are you criticizing me? I've been taking care of the kids all day. What have you been doing all day?" Right? That quick reaction that comes from this place of either self-consciousness or shame or inner criticism, or even from past events where your partner has criticized you. Sometimes it can, all of those things bubbling up within you immediately come out in a vomitous way of snapping back or lashing out. These reactions from the subconscious thoughts could be anything, but it's usually some form of "I'm not good enough," or "he never sees all the things that I do," right? Reactions happen so quickly that you often don't even know where it came from. There's no time to even pay attention to your thoughts because it happens so quickly. Reactions are often habitual. You may have been reacting to certain people or situations in this way for decades, or even since childhood. You may have learned these reactions from other people because your parents, your teachers, your siblings, who else, right? Anyone else that has influenced you. You may have learned your reactions, your habitual reactions from other people, or you may have developed these reactions on your own. Okay, so if a reaction is a quick habitual thing that comes from your subconscious, what is a response? A response is when you take action from a conscious, intentional way. And the more you can respond instead of react to your partner or to anyone else in life, the more you will feel proud of how you show up. And the more you can respond, the more you will build confidence in yourself as becoming the partner you love to be. So, okay, how do we be better at responding? If the reactions are so immediate and come from the subconscious, how do we actually get better at slowing down and responding to a circumstance with intention and wisdom instead of reacting? So the first habit to practice is to pause. Pausing is such an important action to take. Anytime you're feeling frustration, anytime you're feeling irritation, anytime you're feeling resentment, anger, or assuming something, assuming that your partner meant a certain thing, or assuming anything, right? So what do we do when we pause? We notice what we are feeling in our body. Notice the tension. Notice what that emotion is in your body. Is it anger? Is it irritation? Is it frustration? Is it sadness? Is it fear? Is it critical? What is that feeling that is in your body? Just pause and notice it. And you can practice this throughout the day when it's not even a situation with your partner. I think sometimes it's so much easier to practice some of these skills on your own before you practice it with your partner. So the more you can pause throughout the day, maybe pausing with your kids, maybe pausing before you, even pausing before you brush your teeth to just look at yourself in the mirror for 5 seconds. Just pause, just notice yourself, just say hey to yourself, right? Just practicing those little 2, 3, 4, 5 second pauses throughout the day helps us to get in the habit of slowing down instead of rushing. We rush through so much of our lives that, of course, we are reacting quickly when our partner says or does something that we don't like, right? It's just like we're in this habit of going so quickly that we are in a habit of reacting to so much of our lives instead of pausing and responding and making intentional choices. So that's step one, is to pause and notice what you're feeling in your body. The next step is to tie right along into pausing. It's your breath. It is taking a breath, focusing on your breath, right? Even for just like 1 or 2 breaths, a deep breath in and a long breath out. Focus on your breath for 1, 2, 3, however many times you can focus on your breath, but focus on the in, focus on the out. And when you do this, when you can focus on your breath, even for 1 breath, you're telling your body that you are safe in this moment. Because if you are running from a tiger, you're not going to be focusing on your breath. Your nervous system is going to alter and shut down in a way that it's shutting down all the systems so that you can move fast, and your breath is going to be quick, right? Quick ins, quick outs, so that you can run. But when you focus on your breath, when you slow it down, when you focus on the in and out, it sends a signal to your brain, to your nervous system, that you are safe in this moment. And then your nervous system starts to regulate. And then, like when your nervous system is regulating, now you are really moving towards that responding instead of reacting. And then the third step is to neutralize the situation. And the way we neutralize the situation is to really separate the facts from the story. So is there another perspective that your subconscious didn't see immediately, right? An easy example is like if your partner comes home late from work and your immediate thought is, they're inconsiderate, they don't care about our family, they don't care about dinner time. And so you want to just lash out at them as soon as they walk in the door because they're late and it threw off your evening with the kids, right? But is there another situation? What are the facts? The facts are your partner got home 30 minutes late, let's say, and we don't know anything else. Anything else is a story that your brain is trying to create. So we have to pause and separate the facts from the story and then look for that other perspective. What is that other perspective? Maybe they got stuck behind a horrible wreck. Maybe they lost track of time and just innocently lost track of time because they had so much stress at work. When you pause and focus on your breath and then neutralize the situation by separating the facts from the story, you can then ask your partner, hey, what's going on? Right? That is the response part. Like it's like intentionally responding, right? And so which brings me to step 4, decide intentionally how you want to respond. When you separate the facts from the story, when your nervous system is calm, now you can decide intentionally, what is the next best step here? Do I want to make sure my partner's okay? Do I want to make sure that they feel heard and seen and loved in this moment, even if I'm frustrated that they're late from work? And then the last step is to have compassion on yourself when you react. Because if you're not going to have compassion on yourself when you react, you're going to keep reacting to your reaction, and it's just going to spiral into this, horrible mess. And so, like, when you notice yourself reacting, just use that as an opportunity to say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I reacted there, and I want to understand what's going on deeper. I don't want to just assume things, right?" I think I remember my husband telling me at first, but I've heard it several other places. And it's when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, right? So assumption is like the process of just like making an ass out of all of us. It's like, and it does no good. And it causes us to react in unhealthy ways in our relationships and in our lives. So can we pause? Can we focus on our breath? Can we neutralize the situation and only look at the facts? Look for that other perspective that you're not seeing, and then intentionally learn how to respond. And then intentionally decide how you want to respond. And then next, have compassion on yourself when you do react. Apologies are a beautiful thing in a long-term, healthy relationship. Now, all 5 of these make total sense, right? And often people tell me that the hardest part is that pause. If they can get to that pause, the rest of it is easier. But I want to offer it's only hard because you're not used to it. And just like anything, when it is practiced, it gets easier. You've probably heard that your brain is neuroplastic, which simply means that your brain can adapt to new things. It can learn and it can even repair itself. Neuroplasticity allows your brain to carve new paths. Right now, the paths that it's carved might be very reactive. And just like if you take the same path over and over in the woods, right? If you're a hiker and you know like the same path gets you the same direction, all the people take this same path, you take the same path every time, that path is carved. The weeds are gone, the dirt is on the ground, there's no trees to climb over. Well, occasionally, if you live in Tennessee, we always have trees blown over. But like that path, it's easier because so many people take it, right? And in the same way, your brain has taken the path of being quick to react over and over. So it's clear. It's the easiest path that your brain can take. It knows this path. It's familiar. It's going to go to it first. But pausing, breathing, looking for the full perspective, practicing this stuff over and over is very similar to carving a new path in the woods. When you want to carve a new path in the woods, you got to start somewhere. You got to take down the big trees. You got to take down the weeds. You have to, walk that path several times. And then eventually, that's the easy path. If you start taking that path more and more and more, and you stop taking the other path of reacting, then that path is going to start growing up. The weeds are going to start growing, and it's going to be harder to take the reactive path. So if you can practice this, if you can practice that pause over and over through your life, through your interactions with your partner, that path is going to be easier over time. Your brain is going to find it easier to pause because you've consistently been working on that path. Your brain will also remember the benefits, right? It starts to remember, oh, this was good last time. This was so healthy for me last time. This led to connection with my partner last time. It led me to understanding them deeper. It led them to understanding me deeper because we had such a good, healthy back and forth conversation, because I was not quick to criticize or quick to judge or quick to assume and quick to react. I slowed down and it worked. Your brain remembers that and wants to repeat it. It starts to remind your brain that this is actually the easy path. Responding is actually the easy path. And your brain will start to naturally respond instead of react. So practice that this week. That's your challenge this week. Practice pausing before you react and start carving those new paths. These are the things that we work on a daily, weekly, monthly basis in the Stoked Marriage Mastermind. And I invite you to join us. We are building a community full of women who are passionate about leading the lives that they want within themselves and in their relationships. When you join, you'll have immediate access to the Stoked Relationship course. You'll start going through there. You'll start learning and understanding the mindset skills that help you make true change in your relationship, starting with your relationship with yourself. This is not a program to help you convince your partner to change, but it is a program that will help you step into your power and be the partner you want to be. And also the partner that you would love having, right? I want you to look at yourself and say, would I love to have a partner like myself? Do I communicate well? Do I love well? Do I nurture well? Do I take care of my own needs? And do I support my partner in their needs? Am I patient? Am I good at responding versus reacting? These are the things we work on in Stoked. We take a very holistic approach. We care for the entire woman, not just your marriage. But in the process of taking care of you showing up as the leader in your relationship and in your life as you want to be, your relationship improves. Sometimes it happens very quickly. Other times it's a gradual process. We don't rush things in Stoked. We intentionally say, what do we need to work on? Let's focus on improving that every single day. And in the process, people are communicating with their partners better. They're standing up for themselves better. They're saying no when they need to say no. They're saying yes out of fun and pleasure more. They're engaging their partners in a very healthy way. And they're becoming more and more proud of who they are as half of this team. We've recently changed the platform for Stoked, and we now host it on Skool. That's Skool. It's a membership platform where you can host your entire membership in one place. So we've got the classes in there. We've got our community. We've got the written coaching, and there's also an app. So Stoked now comes with its own app where you can pop on your phone, see the most recent classes, the most recent workshops, the most recent replays of coaching sessions with everyone. And you can stay up to date so much easier, so much quicker when maybe sometimes you can't make it to the live and you just need to watch a replay. Or you want to pop in the community really quick and support others or get support from others. You can do all of that in the app. And then, of course, every single week we have live coaching sessions where not only are you learning the skills in the workshops and in the courses, but you're bringing your real life everyday situations to those coaching calls, and you're getting coached on them so that you can get unstuck on the areas that you're stuck in. And so let's say you try to practice pausing every day this week and you're really struggling with it. You're going to bring that to the live coaching calls with me, and I will help you coach through it and start discovering new ways for you to really hone these habits in ways that work for you specifically. So I love the Stoked community. I love the women in there. They are so intentional and beautiful and open and supportive of everyone in there. We're all so similar in our struggles and in the things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis in our own lives and in our relationships. And that's why community is so important. We are not meant to do all of life alone. And when we really want to make a change in something, community helps drive that. It's helpful to be supported by other people. And so I invite you again to join. It's just $67 a month, and you can cancel any time you want. There are no contracts. There are no commitments. $67 a month. Come in, heal yourself, heal your relationship, create a marriage that you are stoked to be in. And, recently I had someone come in and say, my kids are noticing a difference in me, and my kids are noticing that I'm reacting better, and there's more peace within me internally. And whenever people tell me that their kids are noticing, I get so excited. It's hard for me to hold back the tears because I know that this is generational healing. It is not just healing a marriage. It is healing mama within herself, and she's passing that on not only to her marriage but to her kids as well. And you know what? Those kids are going to grow up and they're going to pass that on to their kids. But I get so excited when the kids notice a difference. All right, you can go to stokedmarriage.com and join today. I'll see you in there. Have a great week, everyone. Thanks for listening to Joyful Love. If you'd like to know more about my work, come visit me at rachelcunningham.com. That's Rachel spelled with an AEL, Cunningham.com.